welcome to Small Arms Solutions. Today we're looking at a rifle I've had for quite some time. The reason I've had it for quite some time is because this is a 6.5 Creedmoor caliber with a match barrel. The range that I normally go to usually only has a 200-yard range. And for a rifle like this, that's really not doing it justice. This is actually a really good extreme long-range rifle. I also don't have a lot of the experience of using the optics to shoot at 500 yards beyond. So I was waiting for a friend of mine to meet up with me at his range, who is a professional long-range shooter. Now, this individual, Dave Montana, Dave is former British military. He's also a long-range rifle instructor. So he helped me really see what this rifle can do. We went out to his range, which is at 1,100 yards, and we were able to engage steel out to that distance. So this is really a different video than we've done in the past with the details for as far as the accuracy is concerned. But in the beginning here, I want to go through the mechanics of this rifle and what it is. This rifle is a CORE10 hardcore 6.5 Creedmoor. What hardcore means is it comes as a package. You'll see it comes with a scope, with a bipod, and it comes with a hard shell case. It comes with a owner's manual, a lifetime warranty, a sticker, dog tags, and a nice, really big, high-quality hard case. Now, the rifle can be bought as just the CORE10 Tactical Rifle 2 and 6.5 Creedmoor. It can be purchased for an MSRP of $2,469.99. Now, for this setup, the hardcore, which includes everything that you see here, plus the hard case, you're looking around $5,489. Now, the whole purpose of the hardcore was to have the rifle come to you in a way that you don't have to do nothing. You're getting a extremely expensive, the optic is nearly $3,000 itself. You're looking at a Leupold Mark 6 3x18 by 44 millimeter, an excellent long-range optic with the Leupold mount, an Atlas bipod. You also have a match-grade trigger as well. So the entire package, you'd be able to take this deployed any which way you would want, whether it be hunting or long-range target shooting, or whatever purpose you may have for it. It's a one-shot. You don't have to worry about buying anything else. If you're looking to buy the rifle itself, you can do that. You're looking at an MSRP of $2,469. What that is just the rifle minus the bipod, minus the optic, and minus the heavy-duty carrying case. It does come with a much less expensive carrying case, but it does come with a carrying case. But if you look at that price, again, over $3,000 for the optic alone, plus another $2,500 or so for the complete gun. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this from back to front and show you with the specific parts. Now, most of these parts on the higher end are manufactured by CORE. And CORE10 obviously means it's based off of the AR-10 system, which would mean 6.5 Creedmoor 308. Looking at the back here, we have a Magpul ACS stock, 6-position mil-spec receiver extension. This is an excellent stock. It's definitely for those of us who have whiskers. This is definitely whisker-friendly as well. Looking at the lower receiver, we have a CORE30 billet lower CNC machine from a solid block of 775 T6 aircraft-grade aluminum alloy with an integral oversized trigger guard. And this one happens to be cere-coated a coyote tan, if that's the color you'd like to call it. The grip we have here is a Magpul Mo, extremely comfortable grip. That's one that I'm actually quite fond of myself. As we spoke earlier, the trigger guard is integral as part of the receiver. Now, the trigger is a CMC 3.5-pound single-stage trigger. Now, of everything that was on here, this is probably the one thing, well, Dave definitely. Dave is a big fan of two-stage triggers. Myself, I normally like single-stage triggers, but on a precision rifle like this, I would agree that a two-stage would have been better. That's probably the only thing I could really say about this rifle that I would have liked I would do to improve it, would have put a Geisley trigger in there that's a two-stage. The magazine that comes with is an SR25 Magpul PMag Gen 3. Now, this is what it comes with, but when I tested this rifle, I had several different types of magazines. D&H Tactical, C Products Defense. I also had some DPMS type, Brownells, and every magazine worked perfect on this rifle. Your safety, standard bolt catch, standard magazine release. No frills on that at all. The upper receiver is also billet. It is manufactured 775 T6 aircraft-grade aluminum billet with a standard 1913 rail on the top. This whole rifle, the upper, lower, and the handguard were all cere-coated in the coyote tan color. Charging handle is basic. You do have a more aggressive charging handle latch on the left-hand side that will allow you to use one hand to pull it back. Now, the bolt carrier group in this, there's no point taking this thing apart because it's a standard type bolt carrier. You're looking at a 8620 steel carrier with the bolt that's Carpenter 158, which is also test fired with a proof cartridge, and then magnetic particle inspected to ensure against stress fractures. The barrel itself is very interesting. It's a very heavy barrel. It is fluted. It has a 1/8-inch twist, tri-coated, then bead blasted to stainless steel. Now, this is an extremely accurate barrel, which we're going to get into in the very near future. We have a CORE15, or a CORE10, actually, muzzle brake on here as well. Very, very effective muzzle brake. Loud as hell, but it's very, very effective. Now, the gas block is not drilled and pinned. It is set in with set screws. The gas block is also manufactured by CORE. It utilizes a low-profile gas block with a .750 diameter. Now, the rail that we have on here is a 15-inch key mod rail. You see we have an extended 1913 rail on the top. I do expect at some point we'll see CORE going into the M-LOK like everybody else, but as of the time this rifle was put out, it still did have the key mod. Now, looking at the lower area here, we do have a Atlas bipod. This is an extremely durable and very strong type bipod, very expensive in its own right. The ammunition that we see here is three types of ammunition that I had test fired. The first one we had was the ELDX 140 grain. We had 140 grain SIG 6.5 Creedmoor match, and we also had a Hornady 6.5 147 grain ELD match. So this rifle was taken to a 1,100 yard range, which is something that's abnormal for me. So we were fortunate because the range that Dave Montana had was 1,100 yards. Now, the first thing that we did, we had to zero. So we zeroed in at 100 yards, and that particular group was incredibly low. We're looking at 0.53 inches. There was one flyer. If that one flyer wouldn't have been there, we would have been looking at 0.27 inches. And that group was shot with the ELDX match. And then we took out the lab radar, because in order to set the dope on this for extended long ranges, you have to have the muzzle velocity, you have to have all the barometric pressures, put in the muzzle velocity. Everything has to be entered into this ballistic calculator to be able to get that information. So the first ammunition that we tested on the Doppler radar or the lab radar was the SIG. The average spread of the SIG lead ammunition was 2,448 feet per second. After that, we went over to the Hornady. The Hornady was also 140 grains, but that was a lot hotter at 2,615 feet a second. So basically, the SIG was a very accurate ammunition, but it was quite a bit slower than the Hornady. So after all that information was put in, we were ready to go for longer range. We were picking steel at the entire distance from 100 meters, probably 200, 400, 500, 700, 800. And then came the real test. We wanted to see how this thing was going to actually shoot at 1,000 yards. So the target actually was not 1,000 yards. It was 1,113 yards when you look at it through a rangefinder. But we had a gigantic piece of steel that was out there. So after Dave had it zeroed in, he got the calculations. We were able to adjust the optic for the longer range. He had me sit down and he goes, "You shoot it." So I took off 5 shots, and we did hear steel hit at all 5 shots. We then got in this John Deere mule, because 1,000 yards is quite a way to walk. When we got down to the range, to both of our amazement, this rifle was able to get, with me, 1 MOA at 1,113 yards, which was pretty incredible. You're looking at 11.61 inch group with these 5 shots. For me, I was shocked because, again, I'm not an experienced long-range shooter. That showed this rifle with the Hornady ELDX ammunition had no difficulty whatsoever. 5 shots, 5 hits at that steel target at 1,113 meters. Now, the guy that I shoot with, Dave is, again, he's former British military and a firearms instructor. It is a typical Englishman. He is very hard on something. If something does not work, he will come out and say it's shit. He doesn't mince words. He actually liked this rifle. He said he'd even want to buy one. He was very impressed with it. This is a guy who normally builds his own rifles. So to have somebody of his experience who normally builds his own rifles to get rifles this accurate say that this rifle was incredible and he'd want to buy it, that's really a testament to the quality of this rifle. Its performance at that range was incredible. This cartridge 6.5 Creedmoor, there's no question why it has the popularity that it does. It's a flat shooter. It definitely reaches further out there than a 308 does. And there's no question, and it stands to reason why the U.S. military is looking at it with special operations for both sniper rifles as well as belt-fed machine guns. This rifle does have potential to become a service cartridge for the U.S. military. And I do believe that with SOCOM looking to adopt it and adopting it in a couple different configurations, I think it could be well on its way. This cartridge was started off from Hornady, and it was all done on a computer. I remember when it first came out talking to the guys at Hornady saying that when they developed this, they wanted something that was going to have like 338 Lapua type range with a smaller projectile that would fit into a 308 platform. It was all done mechanically on a computer. And it was the first cartridge that Hornady had developed by themselves. It's incredible. This cartridge has gone on like crazy ever since. I'm looking to do a couple more of these rifles in 6.5 Creedmoor as well. But this particular rifle will also come in 308. If you say you wanted a 7.62 NATO rifle, you can get it in that. I had requested the 6.5 Creedmoor. You guys have been asking about, and again, with my experience, I needed somebody who could do this rifle justice. Shooting something like this at 200 yards, that's like taking a Maserati out and going around a cul-de-sac in a residential neighborhood as a test drive. It just doesn't do it justice. Again, this optic was also incredible. It had a proper mount on it with a proper cant, so we were able to adjust it out as far as it was. As typical Leupold, it was as clear as can be. The optics were clean. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go out to the range and we're going to test fire this, and we're also going to show you the targets as well. We're going to show you the target from paper. We're going to show you the information off of the lab radar that shows the two different cartridges with their velocities. And we're going to show you the 1,113 yard target. We'll show you just how impressed we were. So as you saw from everything, this rifle was really, really impressive. CORE10 has been known to make some very good rifles. A lot of their rifles are your standard military grade 5.56, 300 blackout type rifles. They do have several different versions of long range rifles, but this one was really out of the box. That was my second time ever shooting at that distance. The last time I shot that was with an LMT 308 20-inch MWS. And that was at 800 yards. So this was my first time going beyond at 1,000 yards and beyond. And with my limited experience, I was able to do that. So that just goes to show the quality. Now, it's not cheap, as I said. You can get it either way. You can get it as the hardcore package with the optic, with the iPod, with the big case, or you can just buy the stripped rifle and you can put your own scope and bipod on it. But one thing's for sure, this rifle is surely a winner. And I couldn't recommend this more highly for somebody who is looking into getting into shooting with a 6.8 for a long-range precision rifle or a hunting rifle. This has definitely got it. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click like, please subscribe, and even better, share. Thank you.